My ex really expected me to ignore all the red flags and give her another chance. My now ex-girlfriend and I were together for about a year. We had our problems, but we were trying to work through them. This was my first serious relationship in a long time, and I genuinely cared about her. Toward the end, though, her behavior became a major issue. One day, I was driving her and her brother somewhere when they started talking about a county jailer who checked in visitors at the jail. Her other brother was in the county jail, and she had been visiting him. While sitting in my truck with me right there, she casually told her brother that she had given the jailer her phone number. Then she mentioned that he had told her, "If I were your boyfriend, I'd treat you right and spoil you." I was pissed, but I kept my cool. Not long after that, we were at her place. Again, talking as if I wasn't even there, she mentioned going to a park with friends the previous Saturday. The problem was that she had told me she was going to Mexico that weekend to visit her grandmother. I walked out shortly afterward and was beyond pissed. For the next few days, I kept contact to a minimum. Then she asked me to meet her at a park where she was hanging out with some cousins. Once again, as if I wasn't standing there, she told them she had been texting the jailer back and forth. I barely said a word other than that I was leaving. I was so angry and stressed that I started smoking cigarettes again after being quit for 3 months. An hour later, I called her and told her exactly why I was upset. She immediately switched into the I'm innocent routine and started making excuses. She claimed he was getting married and gave me a bunch of explanations that didn't add up. I reminded her what she had told me about him wanting to be her boyfriend. At that point, I finally unloaded all the frustrations I'd been bottling up about her behavior and how she treated me. She hung up on me. That was the moment I decided it wasn't worth it anymore. About 30 minutes later, she called back asking if I had calmed down. I told her I didn't want to talk because she had hung up on me. She sounded shocked and kept asking why. I repeated myself, said goodbye, and ended the call. On a side note, what I thought was kinda humorous was I was listening to music with my earphones on, and the song from Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison, was playing when she called me. 3 weeks later, a good friend of mine told me he had seen her having lunch at a BBQ restaurant with a guy wearing a county jailer uniform. He also saw them hugging and kissing. I knew he wasn't making it up, because I had never told him about our breakup, or about the jailer. A week later, she called wanting to work things out. She claimed she didn't know I was upset because he has a girlfriend. Funny enough, she had changed the story from him having a fiancé to him having a girlfriend. I stopped her and asked, "So making out with him at a restaurant makes it okay?" She went completely silent. I then told her not to call me again. A few weeks passed. For whatever reason, I found myself missing her, but I wasn't going to reach out. Then she called me from her mom's phone. I don't know why I answered. According to her, she wanted to know how I was doing and said she'd been having dreams about me. For a second, I almost fell for it. Then she casually mentioned that her son had broken her phone and that she didn't have the money to replace it. The second she said that, I knew exactly where the conversation was going. I told her, "Go ask your boyfriend." Then I added, "Get it through your head, don't ever call me again." I haven't heard from her since. Looking back, I still don't understand how she thought any of that behavior was acceptable while we were together.